Hi ladies and gentlemen. So today we're on a new lesson. We're still evaluating piecewise functions, but instead of from a graph this time, we're going to talk about from an equation. So there's two parts to the equation. I'm going to kind of zoom in on the one that we're going to be focusing on. There's two parts that we have to look at when we are evaluating from an equation. The first part that we're going to look at is my domain, which is here. Okay, so I have to know where in my domain my x falls, and this will tell me which equation that I'm going to choose. So if my x is less than 5, I'm going to choose this equation, and if the x they give me is between 5 and 10, I'm going to choose this equation. Now what if what if the x is exactly 5? Well, if it's exactly 5, this little line right here says equal to, right? Less than or equal to, so I would choose this one. And this one has to be greater than 5 and less than 10. So all I'm going to do is look at my x value. So my x value for this is, -2. So where does -2 fall at in my domain? Is -2 less than 5, or is -2 between 5 and 10? Well, -2 of course is in here, so what I'm going to do is wherever there's an x in my equation, I'm going to put -2. So this is minus a -2 minus 4. So I just took this equation right here. Oops, sorry, thought I switched to the highlighter there. I'm going to take this equation right here and put a -2, put the -2 wherever the x is. Okay, so that's what I did here. Then I'm just going to solve. Minus 2 is 2 minus 4 equals -2. So that is my answer, -2. And then we're going to do the same thing for the 7 down here. So I'm going to take this 7, which is my x, and I'm going to find out where it belongs in my domain. Well, 7 is between 5 and 10, so I'm going to take this 7 and put it in there. So I get 2 times 7 squared minus 7. Now I need to follow order of operations. Order of operations says I do exponents first. So I've got 2 times 49 minus 7. And then 2 times 49 is 98. 98 minus 7 gives me 91. And there's my answer. Pretty sure I did that one right. I did it all in my head. So I'm pretty sure that's right. If not, let us know. You guys can just use your calculators as long as you're making sure you put parentheses around everything. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next equation. We have 5 or 6 examples to do for you guys, and then we're going to go ahead and, well, we're going to split this into 2 videos. So we've got 2 parts, 4 questions in the first part. So here we go. We're going to do the same thing again. I want to look at my domain. My domain says I'm looking for numbers. The first one is between 0 and -15, and the second one is between 0 and +15. So those are where my x, so those are the x's I'm using. So my first x is -5. So -5, does it fall in between 0 and -15 or 0 and +15? Well, it's 0 and -15. So I'm going to go in there. So this x is going to go into this equation. Okay, so I have -5 squared. And remember, since it's a negative, it needs to go inside the parentheses, especially when you put it in your calculator. Or -5 squared is -5 times -5, which is +25. Okay, nice job. And then +15, oh, it does say right here, equals 15. So that means that it's going to go into that equation. I'm going to take this 15 and I'm going to put it into there. So I get 15 minus 5 equals 10. Done. Okay? So those are my two answers. I just need to figure out which equation I'm going to put it into, the top one or the bottom one. Sometimes there's more than one equation, so I have to decide between 3 of them. So, or 4 or 5, we just have to decide where it fits in the domain. That's why I'm kind of color coding mine a little bit to help me out a little bit. So we're going to do the same thing again. So here we go. So I've got this domain where it says x does not equal 0. X does not equal 0. That's the only thing it can't be. That means if it's any other number than 0, I'm going to use this equation. And the other one says x equals 0. There's only one choice for this one, is only when x equals 0. So shouldn't be too bad. So the first x I have is 3. So that means it's in the green one. It doesn't equal 0. So I'm going to plug this one into this equation where there's an x. So I get 6 divided by 3 minus 1. Well, what's 6 divided by 3? You're right, it's 2. Minus 1 equals 1. Okay, good job. And the second one is a 0. Oh, keep forgetting to switch it. So I've got a 0 here. Okay, so that 0 is going to go in. Oh, there's no x there. So what do I do if there's no x? Well, that just means that it's just that answer. F of 0 equals what? 3. There's no figuring out to do. It's just whatever that number is. Okay? Because it says x equals 0. When x equals 0, y is 3. So there's my answer. Okay, one more to do here, and then we're going to go ahead and pause and have you do some problems in the Nearpod, and then we'll come back and do the second part of this lesson here. So we've got my domain here says x is less than or equal to 0. Okay, so any negative number, 0 or any negative number, basically is what this says, is equal to 14. And then it says between 0 and infinity, so any number bigger than 0, so any positive number basically is x squared minus 9x. Okay, great. So what's my first? My first one is -5, so that's going to be the purple. And the other one is 1. It's a positive number, so that'll be the red. So I just want to go ahead and highlight those first. So if this is negative and it's going to be my purple one, it's going to be in here. Well, there's no x, so that already tells me that my y equals 14. Done. That one's the simple one. Okay, and then this is f of 1, so we know that that's in the pink one here. So wherever there's an x, I'm going to put 1. So I'm going to put a 1 there and a 1 there. So I've got 1 squared minus 9 times 1. So 1 squared is 1. Minus 9 times 1 is 9. And 1 minus 9 is -8. There we go. Okay, you guys, we will see you back. I'm going to give you a few problems like this to do. I think it's more than a few. You might have like 8 to do like this just to practice. We'll see how you're doing, and then we'll see you back here in a few for the second video to show you how we're going to finish this up. We'll see you in a few. Bye.